Here's the question for you, Dregs, that I would ask. Would Marner seriously entertain a sheet?
I would say yes, because why would you put yourself through all of this to this point, now mere hours from the opening of the restricted free agent interview period, unless you're willing to go the distance?
By the way, the funniest part of that talking period is teams are not allowed to make an offer.
Yeah.
It's so strange.
Are you kidding me?
You can talk parameters, you just can't make an offer.
That's going to be ignored more than the stop sign on my corner.
Like, you know what else?
That no one stops.
If I give you a bunch of bananas and some of these strawberries.
Say
you know what else you
I offered
can't
you
do?
11 million blueberries. Yeah.
You know what else you can't do? So you cannot send a private plane to get the player.
The Tom Hicks rule.
So who? That's actually something I wanted to ask out of curiosity. Would that be Mitch? Like, would Mitch Marner actually get on a plane himself and pay for it and go if he wanted to meet with them, or would FaceTime not suffice?
No, I mean there would be an opportunity for that. So I don't want to rule it out. I think one of three things happens.
But he'd have to pay his own way, is what I'm saying.
Well, I'd have to look at that. I've got all that language broken down. I mean, you can. Seriously, I'll send it to you guys. It's hilarious, some of the stuff that's written in here, and I have it isolated. I sent it to the Dan Salem, the That's Hockey producer, earlier today because it's good fun reading, to be honest, specific to the RFA interview period and the unrestricted free agent period, which is going on now. But the player and his entourage can travel to the city. Obviously, the club can come, in this case, to Toronto, or they can meet the player and his representation and his family, whoever is involved in that meeting, wherever they choose, or they can do it electronically.
Interesting.
So now the curious thing for me, another question that's being asked is the Kapanen extension, which isn't done, but is essentially done, as you've reported. Why would Kapanen take, is it 3.4?
He's 3.2.
I think it's 3.2.
Yeah.
Janssen is 3.4. 4 years, Kapanen 3.2 at 3 years.
Doesn't Kapanen get $4 million all day?
Why would you think he'd get that?
Because Kapanen, if you wanted to offer sheet someone, it's only a second round pick.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Like a team could offer sheet Kapanen on a deal at $4 million and give up a second round pick. I think lots of teams would be happy to give up a second round pick to get Kasperi Kapanen.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I mean, it's a 3-year bridge. I mean, that's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
Kasperi Kapanen is banking, assuming he stays in Toronto, that he's going to double his salary when he comes out.
I'm not blaming him
deal.
for doing it. Just curious. Like, could he not have leveraged more?
Different personality, right?
No, that's an agent. That's an agent asking the question who doesn't represent Kapanen. So it's easy to criticize what a different agent does. But it is. I talked to a GM yesterday who was surprised Kapanen would agree to that deal.
Oh, well, and I was surprised at the timing, Gord, to be fair. Like, there was a 9-day gap between Friday, round 1 of the draft, and July 1st. That's a long period of time. And managers were telling me on the floor that that's why they believed, as much as it was cap related, they believed that was what was stalling some of the transactions on Friday, was that people were like, you know what, we got time. Let's see if Kyle Dubas or Kevin Cheveldayoff or Julian Breezeball or whoever the cap general managers are start to twist a little bit this week. And they meant next week. Yeah. So that was why the timing of Dubas getting that work done with Janssen and Kapanen was surprising. But you know what? I think Kyle did a masterful job on Friday and on Saturday. Everybody's grousing about giving up that first-round pick to move out Patrick Marleau. He had no choice.
Yeah, I thought it was great. I mean, and lottery protected, I don't know. I mean, what else are you going to do?
Here's what I think is, for me, from a Maple Leafs perspective, so what's today, the 25th? The next 5 days are going to be tell-all because, look, there's communication daily between Darren Ferris and Kyle Dubas. Every single day they're having a conversation. Right. And they continue to chew on the parameters of what a deal might look like. Well, obviously, Toronto is going to have to button something down. Are they going to push for a 2-year deal? He's not taking a 2-year deal. Could a 3-year deal, could a 4-year? Well, it's not going to be a 4-year, walks him in unrestricted free agency. The player would prefer a 5. I don't think he wants anything to do with a 6. I know he doesn't want anything to do with a 7 or an 8-year deal. So we're probably talking about 2, maybe 3 options. And I have no doubt in my mind that Dubas is going to table something that is going to make Mitch Marner pause before the 30th or on the 30th of June.
And that was my question yesterday, was if you know he's going to talk blueberries and strawberries with other teams on Wednesday, do you go hard today with a final offer, or do you let the conversations happen and then kind of feel it out from there if you're Dubas, and then do something before your point, the 30th, right? Like,
Well, let's assume they talk today or have spoken today. Today is approaching the 11th hour. It's not the 11th hour. So, I think that every conversation gets a little bit more interesting and maybe a little bit more pinpointed as to what, the Maple Leafs need to happen or what they're willing to have happen. But it's not the 11th hour yet. And so if Marner, if he wants to go through the interview period, he's earned that right to go into the interview period. Everybody's on me about the optics. Who gives a rat's what about the optics? Do you honestly think that Mitch Marner is curled up in the fetal position in his bed at home going, ooh, the Maple Leafs fans, oh, I'm so worried? No, of course he's not.
Joe Sakic signed an offer sheet in Colorado. He's a god there.
I mean, it's the business of the sport.
Joe almost literally walks on water in Colorado.
Yeah.
So, I mean.
Well, and Brendan Shanahan signed an offer sheet to go to St. Louis, did he not?
Yeah. Here's a nightmare scenario for you, Dregs. Say July 1st comes, he doesn't get an offer sheet, and the thing drags on, and the 11th hour is December. We go through the Nylander thing again.
Oh,
no.
I can't wait to be on Leafs lunch in November.
No.
Dregs, what's going on?
No. See, hold on.
Not happening.
That's not the nightmare scenario for me. The nightmare scenario for me is they don't have this thing signed by July 6th or 7th. Because then I'm dragging on.
Oh, yeah.
Bob is toes up in the compound.
I will say this. I don't like to make predictions. I will say this.
That could be an
one way or the other. Mitch Marner's contract will be done by July the 8th. One way or the other.
Is that what you're saying? You're taking that?
I think it's earlier than that. Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying the latest.
You kept saying Nylander was going to be at training camp, and they're like, no, for preseason Nylander's. No, October 2nd, I swear he's going to be there for. No.
Well, I'll tell you what.
So he could have been. He could have had that. The Leafs could have given him that deal in training camp. He'd have taken it. So
for sure. Well, if Dubas wanted to give it to William Nylander and perhaps send a message to others, including Marner, you should have let him sit.
So I'm hedging on July 8th for one reason. If Marner gets an offer sheet on July 1st, the Leafs have 7 days.
Right.
They'll take the 7 days, I would think. Other teams, whoever gets it, if someone gets offer sheeted this summer, other teams will say to the team that is in the position to decide, take the full 7 days.
Yeah.
Because we don't want that team that made the offer sheet to be able to put another one out there.
Yeah.
Right? Like just say for the sake of argument that Matthew Tkachuk gets offer sheeted on July 1st. And Calgary matches right away. Now the team that offer sheeted him can go after somebody else.
Yeah. No.
You'll
it's
urge
a strategy.
Them, you'll urge them, take the full week.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be a fun weekend.
Well,
right?
Dregs, I do hope you have a wonderful summer, so let's all hope that doesn't go that way.
You know what my nightmare scenario is, by the way?
What?
The Dregs and I are in Switzerland next year at the World Hockey Championship, and we flip for the tab and I lose.
Yeah.
That's my nightmare
scenario. Is he expensive?
No, Switzerland's expensive.
Oh,